Oh my gosh, I am so sick of her too. But the more I see of her, Gypsy, the more I learn. And I think as we learn more and more about Gypsy Rose, she is going to basically tell on herself, which I am here for. I am loving every second of it. Like in a recent interview, she actually said that she doesn't identify as a murderer because she didn't actually commit the crime. However, you know, when you go in front of a parole board, you go in front of the parole board to like tell them how you've been rehabilitated and how they don't have to worry about you being a criminal out here in society if they let you out. With her saying that she doesn't identify as that, she's basically saying that everything that she did to get herself on parole was a lie. And she even said in another interview that I watched that everything that she did while she was in prison was to get paroled. Like, this girl made a plan and she did everything that she could to execute the plan, which was get the parole board to, you know, parole her. And she manipulated them because she's out. And she's not feeling guilty about anything that she's done. She has zero remorse for this man sitting in prison for the rest of his life for doing something that she requested him to do. But in all the interviews of Nicholas Godejohn, he will literally say, like, I didn't want to do this. Like, she kept pushing, she kept pushing, she kept pushing. I also think that it's kind of crazy for her to get on a video and talk about how she's a recoverer from Munchausen syndrome. Everything that she read in that video, or everything that she talked about in that video, it sounded like she was reading. And I'm sorry, if you want to be a victim's advocate, you don't go around and unalive people. Like, that's not teaching people what they should do in order to get out of a situation in a positive way. What she did was a very negative thing, and she should not be praised for it. This girl was taught at a very young age to learn how to lie and manipulate people into getting what she wants. She was taught that by her mother, who many have said was a master manipulator. I mean, she pulled off one of the longest cons ever. And Gypsy was a part of that long con. In all of the videos and documentaries and everything of like their house, she would not have been able to like wheel around in that house because there was no space for the wheelchair. I mean, there was just shit everywhere. So this girl knew that she could walk. She had access to the ability to move around freely in her home. And did you see the video interview where she was talking about how she was on drugs the entire time and how she was addicted to drugs? I don't believe anything that Gypsy Rose Blanchard has to say. I think she is a complete liar. I don't think that she was addicted to drugs. I think she was definitely in prison with some people who were, and used their story to imitate art in her own life to get people to feel sorry for her. She is very, very good at getting people to feel sorry for her. As I've stated in my other videos, I do believe that Gypsy Rose was a victim of her mother's mental illness. Do I think that it was Munchausen by proxy? No, I think that Gypsy Rose was actually culpable in a lot of the things that happened to her. I think they both get a high off of all of the attention, and she uses that to her advantage in whatever situation she is in. She's now in this relationship with, I don't know what the guy's name is, but in an interview she stated that whenever she was released from prison, she had to be released from prison and live in Louisiana. So she purposely like sought out a fan in Louisiana to get married to so that she could have a place to live whenever she got out of prison. This girl is very, very calculated in the moves that she makes, and I don't think it's going to be long before we see new charges being pressed against her in this same crime. Now, can she be charged with the same charges that she previously had? No, she can't. But I do believe there are going to be other charges that the prosecutors will come after her for, because she's telling on herself. Like, every time a new interview comes out, every time a new video comes out, she's saying more things about how she doesn't think that she's responsible for her own actions. And back to the idea of her being on drugs. Yes, I do understand that her mom was giving her medication, but she doesn't really know, like, what medication her mom was giving to her, because her mom was putting it in the feeding tube. So if she was truly, like, stealing medication from behind her mom's back, if she was that calculated to take medication, use cell phone, use the laptop to better aid herself in what she was trying to accomplish, why couldn't she use those same tactics to get herself out of the situation that she was in? Not only that, but towards the end of all of everything that was going on, her mom was sick. So her mom actually relied on Gypsy Rose in order to give her the care that she needed. So if she was the one who was providing care to her mom, then she was fully capable of walking out of that house and getting some help for herself. She did not have to unalive her mom. That's my stance. I don't care what anybody else thinks about it, but I truly believe that this did not have to happen.